Did I scare you? Well, happy Halloween! Well, it's not really Halloween, but hey, this is a Halloween episode. Hello there, my name is Joffre, and today we have a special Halloween recipe. Well, the past few recipes were very easy. They were all cake box, but now we're doing something very different. We're gonna make everything, well, almost everything from scratch. Well, except for the fondant. But you know what's the best thing about this cake is? It's a flesh cake. It's very realistic, it's very gruesome, and also, it's very... Is this thing moving? Oh, fuck no! The design of this cake is actually really special towards me. Not because it's creepy, spooky, or I killed the guy. I didn't. That's a thing. But because the first cake I ever made was actually a flesh cake. I made it for my friends because they made a metal band. It was like freshman year. And the cake itself was flesh sewn up together with like bloody parts on it. So now I'm recreating it, but making it 2.0. That's a 1.
Leave! Don't ignore the proximity! Go on!
So let's start. All this stuff that you'll need we'll find in the description down below. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to start making the cake. In a small bowl, you want to add your red dye, and also you want to add in 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder and whisk it all together. And afterwards, put it aside. In a large bowl, you want to add in your eggs, vanilla, oil, and water and mix it all together until it's completely combined and foamy. After that, you want to add in your salt, flour, baking powder, and sugar and mix it until it's all combined. Now you want to add in your coagulated blood of 3 Ukrainian virgins. Wait, I mean your red dye that you made before, not virgin blood. Then afterwards you just mix it. Just forget what I just said. And when you're done mixing it, just put it to the side for now. In a clean bowl, now you want to add in your egg whites and whip it until it becomes opaque and foamy. And once it does, just gradually add your sugar. Now you want to add in your red dye batter and put it into your meringue and fold it gently until it's all combined. So this recipe is measured out for 2 9-inch cake tins and 2 6-inch cake tins. You can see here that I already lined the tins, and I'm just going to fill it up halfway. We are baking both cakes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. The 6-inch cake will take about 18 minutes, and the 9-inch cake is going to take about 25. Okay, so once your cake is already made, now we're going to start making the buttercream. In a bowl, you want to add your egg whites and whip it until it becomes opaque and foamy. And you can leave that for the side for now. Now, in a pot, you want to add in your sugar and water, and you want to bring it up to the temperature of 243 degrees Fahrenheit. Until it reaches that temperature, immediately go to your whipped eggs, and you want the eggs to be whipped on high speed and gently pour in your sugar syrup. To whip your meringue until it's completely cool, so it can't be warm at all. And then afterwards, you can add in your butter. Once your butter's already completely mixed in, you could also add in your vanilla. So as we already made our buttercream, now we're going to make the whipped cream. That's going to be the filling of the cake. In a bowl, just add in your heavy cream, sugar, and vanilla extract, and mix it until it becomes to a stiff peak. But be careful, you don't want to over mix it because then it will become into butter. I just mixed it right under that stage. Okay, as we already made our whipped cream, buttercream, now we're going to prepare the cake. As your cake is completely cooled down, now you just want to level off the top. And then cut your cake in half. Then you just want to do the same to your bigger piece, or smaller piece, depending on which one you use first. On a cake board, you want to add a little bit of buttercream just to make it secure that it just stays there. And you want to make a barrier using the buttercream, and then you want to fill that barrier with your whipped cream. And then you want to repeat for each layer. Once you're done filling up your cake, now you just want to cover it with buttercream. And you don't have to really make it perfect because it's actually going to help it to make it give it more of a real skin texture, because skin is not perfectly smooth. And if it is, that's mostly because of Photoshop. And then you want to repeat the same steps in the other cake, and when you're done completing both cakes, put it into the fridge for it to harden. Okay, now let's start making the fondant eyes. So I'm just using this leftover piece of fondant, a colored fondant. It could really be any color, because the color we're going to paint it over, we're going to use a red color, and you really won't see the bottom part. Actually, you know what? You can't really see the colors properly in this lighting. You know what? Screw it. We're going back to normal lighting. We're not doing this ooky spooky because you can't see the color, and this part is very color orientated. Ah, much better. Okay, to make the iris part of the eye, I'm just using the back end of a piping tip to just cut out a circle for the shape of the iris. So the way I'm going to color it, I'm just using some powder red food dye and adding a little bit of water to it for then to become into a paint. And I'm just going to color in using some brush strokes going from in to out. And this should make the sort of iris, you know, the little lines that you have in your eyes effect. And also, you want to remember to also clean the edges. And by clean, I mean color the edges. So this is how it's supposed to look afterwards. Now to make the pupils of the eyes, I'm just using a Wilton number 12 round tip, and I'm just going to poke holes with it. And that's your pupil. To attach your pupil to the iris, just place it in the center and press down. Now to make whites of the eyes, we're just going to take a ball of fondant and then we're going to shape it into an almost oval with pointy ends, and we also want to give it a little bit of height and the bottom part flat. Now, to attach your iris to the whites of the eyes, you just want to use some of the blood of the goat that you used in last week's meeting sacrifice. I mean, water. I mean, we're just using water. It was a dirty brush. That's all. It wasn't the goat blood. And then you just want to press it down to the iris of the eye. And let it dry, and that's how you get your eye. Okay, so now for the fondant piece that we're going to use to cover the cake, well, I'm just taking little bits of pieces of fondant and rolling it out until it's flat, until it's 1/8 of an inch. It doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, we want to have it look like almost if a psychopath harvests some skin out of people and just place it on a cake. And I don't think psychopaths know how to properly make a cake. And you just want to repeat this step with the rest of your fondant. Okay, after your cake is completely hardened, you got your fondant pieces already ready. Now we're going to start decorating the cake. To place your fondant, just place it anywhere you want to, but you just want to remember, you want to almost think of it as a puzzle and just sort of make the fondant pieces fit together, but you just want gaps in between each one. And then you just want to cut off some extra that's hanging on the bottom. Some extra pieces that you have, just fill in the gaps. Now I'm adding some boba straws to the cake and just using that as sort of a support for then when you put down the top tier of the cake on top of it, it won't flatten the bottom tier. Now repeat the same steps to your smaller cake, just minus the boba straws. So as you put your cake together, now I just got some of the red paint that we used before and just put some water into it for then it could like make it more transparent, you could say. And then I just splattered it all around to give it more of a skin effect. Right now it looks like it has extremely bad acne, but later on we're going to fix it all together. And then also, I'm not just using red, I'm also using brown. And brown is pretty easy to do. You can get some cocoa powder, add some water to it, and then, yeah, just splatter it all on it. So to make the skin a little bit more shiny and a little bit more oily looking like, I just got a damp brush and just brushing it all completely. And this will also help blending in all the colors to give it more of a realistic skin effect. To remove any extra water off the cake, I'm just using a paper towel and just patting it gently. And also this will help remove any brush strokes I could see, so it will give it more of a realistic skin effect rather than you can see visible brush strokes onto the cake. Okay, so as we get most of our cake completed and also we already finished the part of the cake that is very color orientated, I feel like it's time to go back to the dark colors. Okay, so now as you can tell here, I'm using some raspberry jelly and filling up the cracks to make it more of a bloody, like, oh no, it could bleed type effect. Now the way how you're going to put the eye into the cake also, you want to get your Exo knife and just make a small incision, mostly the same size as the eye itself, and you want to open it up for then you can place the eye in. Okay, the lights are back on.
because I forgot to mention one step, is basically to intensify the color of the raspberry jelly. I'm just using some raspberry jelly, a little bit of it, and added some red food dye to give it more of a bloody effect, and also we're going to spread it around the whole cake, like some blood marks everywhere. Once you have your blood marks everywhere, now you just want to pat it gently using a paper towel, because we're going to give the effect like, oh, the fucking psychopath was trying to clean the skin, but it did a bad job doing it. But there you have it, your Halloween flesh cake.
So I guys hope you enjoyed the recipe and also enjoyed this video and find it somewhat helpful. And also, you know that thing at the end? You can leave a like, subscribe, or a comment. If you don't, I'm gonna play the Ouija board and curse you. So just remember, guys. Oh gosh. Just remember. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and also enjoy your cake. Okay, that's I'm fucking leaving this place. I'm fucking leaving. Fuck this shit.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.